Hello and welcome to D2E. In this video I took a trip down to Bluebell Lakes in Peterborough. Travelling down from the northeast was a lot easier than I expected, to be honest, taking approximately 3.5 hours. It was pretty much all on one road, so I ended up getting there well before the gates opened at 8 AM. Once the gates open, you make your way up to the reception area, which is also a well-stocked tackle shop, to pay for your session, then make your way around the complex to pick your swim. There are 5 waters to choose from on the complex: Kingfisher, Swan, San Martin, Bluebell and Mallard. I decided on Mallard, swim 18, as there was a bit of work going on the field bank and I thought the deep water in that area would be a decent shout at this time of year. On day 1 the weather was absolutely horrific, so didn't do much recording, but got the rods out with a small amount of bait and settled in, knocking up some steak and eggs on the good old ridge monkey. During the night, the water went flat calm, making the view one of the reasons why we do this. Just look at that, man. I was up bright and early and was met for a change with a really nice day. So out with the ridge monkey again to knock up some bacon and eggs, and of course that all important morning brew. With the weather on my side, I decided to have a good let about to find some spots, including a nice little gravel patch on the bottom of the slope about 9.5 wraps out. Then I let off roughly a foot of line at a time to work out the depth, which was at about 10 foot. Just make sure when you're casting about to make a note of a point on the horizon. I use the tree line where possible to remember the direction of the casts. It's no good finding a spot you want to fish on if you don't know what direction it's in when you're casting. Then what I'll normally do is I'll reel the floor back down to the lead, and then I'll let off a couple of foot just to compensate for the arc of the line going through the water, and also put us back to the position that the lead landed in before I fell across the bottom of the water. Then it's time to clip up, reel it in, and what I would do is I would flick the rod back out again, casting the same direction just to make sure I'm landing exactly on the spot and on the surface that I want. Then reel in and use your distance sticks to get the number of wraps you are. Then whack the same amount of wraps onto your rod, line up with your mark in the tree line or whatever feature you've used as a guideline, and ping that sucker on the spot. After religiously watching the water and doing everything I could, I decided because of the lack of signs that a move was on the cards. So that's exactly what I did. I packed down, made the move across the Bluebell on the peg 24. After again having a bit of a let around and watching the water for a few hours, I dropped my rigs on some clear spots with a small amount of bait. This time of year I always approach the water as if I'm fishing for a bite, putting in very little bait or using mesh or PVA bags to create a mouthful for any passing carp. In my opinion, at this time of year, location is the most important part of your fishing. The carp won't necessarily be moving around too much with the cold January conditions, and you can't catch what's not in front of you. So that being said, once again I packed down and moved to where I saw subtle signs of movement in and on the water. Moving down a couple of pegs to these signs at the very least would give me the peace of mind that I had done everything I could to land my first bluebell carp. I approached this swim a little differently, trying to cause as little disturbance as possible, using a bait boat to find the spot and even drop the bait and rigs as quietly as possible. On some venues you can get an edge by ringing the dinner bell, but my thinking was after watching people spotting and casting on the opposite bank that the fish may be a little bit spooky, and I wanted to catch one off guard. Time to settle in and wait. Sometimes the hardest thing to do in fishing is nothing at all, but the plan of action was to cause as little disturbance as possible, so I decided to have faith in my spots and presentation and just wait. Well, the persistence, effort and patience paid off, with the reward being this banging Bluebell 30, first fish of the year at January 30, and I couldn't be happier. And with that, this video comes to an end. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you do, give me a follow on Facebook under Dave Smith, it's the verified profile, and on TikTok, YouTube and Instagram under D2E Adventure. Link will be in the post or in the comments. Thanks for watching.